welcome. It is May 14th, 2011. This is The Talking Dead, and I am Jason.
This is Bob.
Welcome. How's it going, Bob?
Awesome. It's great.
Looks like we got everything going. We didn't have a show last week. Everybody kind of took a break off, and it was good. But before we get the show started, I want to let everyone know that... Actually, I don't want to let them know. I want to thank them for entering into the Forget Me Not DVD giveaway that we had on Zombie Popcorn. The winner has until tomorrow to reply, and then we pick somebody else because we haven't heard back from them yet. So,
who is it?
I can't tell
you.
Oh. We'll pick somebody new if I don't hear back from them by tomorrow. And thank you everybody for entering into the Pirates of the Caribbean 3D advanced screening ticket giveaway. That is Monday. All the tickets have gone. They went fast. But speaking of advanced screenings, we also did a contest a couple weeks back for Priest 3D, and we actually went to see that. What do you think about it?
I thought it was just okay. I wasn't wowed by it.
Really?
Yeah, it was just all right. I mean, some of the, as a popcorn action movie, I think it did okay, but it's based on a comic, and I'm having trouble deciding which comic it's based on because I've read a couple of them that have the same basic idea.
But I thought it was based on the same comic with the same title.
Maybe.
I mean, I could be wrong on that, but...
I read a comic the other week. It was called the Loaded Bible, the Jesus Chronicles or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was exactly the same setup. It was sort of the dystopian future, vampire wars. And rather than the priests being the weapon of the church, the trained vampire slayers, it was they were Jesus clones.
That sounds awesome. Can you bring your mic down?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. No, but I don't think this film was any different than any other style film because it had every element from every movie that was good in our history. It had elements of Indiana Jones. It had elements of Star Wars. It had Resident Evil. It had Westerns. It pretty much had every element.
I couldn't decide if they were priests or Jedi.
Yeah, they were pretty damn powerful.
Yeah,
but I liked it. What I really liked about the film was I really hope they do an animated feature out of it because the animation beginning of the movie was awesome. The intro.
Did you see who did that?
No.
It was Jenny Tartakovsky.
Oh yeah.
Do you know Jenny Tartakovsky is the one that did Samurai Jack, and so he has a very distinct visual style. Yeah. And I thought it showed. I thought that was the best part of the movie was that sort of the animated intro.
It was pretty awesome. It was pretty amazing. But what I loved about it, outside of the animation and stuff, is that it made you sit with anticipation that you want to see the movie that you're sitting there watching. It actually got your hopes up. I was just like, this movie's gonna be fucking awesome. And they continued that when they went into the city at the beginning before they left the city, and then it seems like after that it just kind of that was the peak.
Yeah.
And then it just became. I mean, it was still entertaining. I would definitely recommend to go see it just because it's entertaining. But
I get confused in those futuristic settings like that. I'm like, is it the future? But they're in trains with rocket bikes, and one guy has a gun. Everybody else uses swords and knives. And
I don't mind that. I mean, because I play it in my head that when you lose, I don't know, everything that makes this society. Some people, like now, like the people that were sitting in front of us in the film, I'm sure they would choose swords over guns, even today when we have all the.
I suppose, right? Gun, you got to have bullets. Nobody's making bullets anymore. Your gun's no good.
Yeah. So,
unless you make your own, I guess.
Yeah. Welcome everybody who is tuning in to the video side of The Talking Dead. If you're not in the chat room, all you have to do is either, if you're watching it from the front page or from Facebook, there is a chat room underneath the Facebook thing. If you're watching it from the front page, just click on the link. for the video feed, or just click on the video itself, and it will take you to the chat room with the video, so you can join in on the conversation. If you have any ideas, something you want us to talk about, you just want to say hey and hang out, just head over there. Do it. But yeah.
So, as a screening went, I think it was pretty successful. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah, I think Monday's going to be crazier.
Yeah, a high-profile movie like that.
I mean, because I was shocked about. I mean, we talked about it previous weeks, but the Fast Five.
Yeah, that it was actually good.
No, well that too, but also that there were so many people that the advanced screening line wrapped around the theater.
Yeah,
and that's insane. But I don't know. So anyway, that was it. You sent me a link and about a new film that's coming out called Berlin Undead, and I've read about this. This is actually Bloody Disgusting's website. They, we talked about it before that they started their own movie distro in conjunction with AMC to actually bring out horror films that we normally wouldn't get to see. And this is their very first one that they brought out. So
are they the production company, or are they just distribution?
I think they're just distro on it. I think they have say at who picks it up and etc. But I'm not sure the full details to it. But it's apparently going to be in AMC theaters May 4th.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
I like seeing the horror genre done other places than in the U.S.
Definitely, yeah.
I like different, like there's a cultural aspect to it, and
yeah.
I like seeing other people's take on it.
Let's take a moment and watch the trailer, and then we'll.
Right on.
Here's the trailer for the new upcoming film that comes out May 4th, Berlin Undead. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm always happy to see zombies running after people.
Always, always. And they said there's going to be more blood in this film.
I actually like the one dude run away from the cop zombie in body armor.
No, that would suck.
Damn it, he's wearing body armor.
You just can't win.
I know, with a helmet on too, right?
No, you're just like, fuck. You can't shoot him. You can't. That's when you have to get creative with the weapons.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, but I'm so glad though. I mean, I love that Bloody Disgusting has teamed up with AMC to bring out films like this. I mean, because that is one of the worst things ever since DVD releases and stuff. Well, even back then, even back when we were kids, it was hard to find certain releases. You would have to actually thumb through the back of, horror magazines or know somebody who knew somebody that could actually get you, the rare movies. And I hope they stay true to it. And I like that they're going out and finding the top or the best of the films.
Yeah, I think that's just sort of an indicator of the horror genre reaching a mainstream audience now. Because before it was just sort of regarded as a fringe thing. And
well, I think it shows more than that. It shows that it's gotten to the point where horror fans just got fed up of waiting for the studios to produce
Right. My point is, the horror fans have always been out there, but they've been discounted, and now they sort of have a voice.
Yep, I think it's great, and I thank BloodyDisgusting.com for doing that. And I just hope they stay true to it. I mean, I love that they're doing that. I have no arguments of what they're doing. I just want I don't want to just see the best. I want to see the worst too. Really? I mean, I do love the really bad independent horror films that actually have they have potential, but they haven't actually found it yet. Because I mean, they're fun.
Sometimes I think sometimes with movies the low budget production sort of highlights the creativity of the crew involved. Yeah. Because, you can't... They have to solve problems in ways that aren't just throwing money at it. Yeah. And, in like the history of film, some of the best films have been made that way.
That is true. I mean, look at Evil Dead. Well, I mean, when it first came out, nobody loved it. Nobody liked it. It got horrible reviews. But now it's a cult following and has 3 movies.
Yeah.
With a huge fan that wants a 4th one.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking in terms of like of the film noirs that were made. I mean, these were low budget productions, and this is like these were regarded now as some of the best movies ever made. I mean, you could pick any film noir up, and it's likely to be good. And they were done with B movie budgets, and. Yeah. They had to creatively solve problems, besides just throwing money at it. That's true. They're good, yeah. And I think that the horror genre has probably evolved the same way.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that throwing the money at it is a good example. Priest is a good example of that.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Priest looked really expensive.
It looked way expensive, but Miley made a good point after the show. It was like we went to Walt Disney and we were on a Disney ride. I mean, because everything was properly placed. The skull,
you're on the Priest ride.
Yeah, and that's what it was. I mean, she said every skull, like when you went into the hive, every skull was properly placed. Every drip was properly, and There's truth to that. It was too pretty. It was too perfect of an environment, especially for an apocalyptic type.
That's true, right? Maggie Q's in there fighting and flipping around, not a hair out of place.
Yeah. I mean, because if it was... I love the Western feel to it, but if it was the good and the bad and the ugly, the traditional spaghetti Westerns that, we grew up and love, those motherfuckers were dirty. Yeah, that environment was dirty.
Yeah.
And that's what made that film so good, because the environment was gritty, the life was gritty, right. And I think maybe if they made this film gritty, it would have done it some justice.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess grit doesn't sell anymore. They're trying to sell.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, right? Because the whole city is like clouded in smog with ash drifting down. But it still looked good. But everybody seemed clean.
Their faces were, they were tinted a little bit, but not, not like Mary Poppins when you're cleaning the chimney sweep.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. I think what they're trying to do, of course they're trying to give the best visual, but I think they're trying to make it too much like video games, so if the franchise or if the film becomes a success, it can become a franchise and it can have fall on multiple, levels of gaming and everything else. Hey,
Yeah.
3D Movie Man. Woo! Welcome.
Hey, right on.
3D Movie Man just came into the chat room. Welcome. But yeah.
Metal Storm meets Van Helsing meets Matrix.
Yeah. So you saw it. Yeah, Metal Storm is a good.
I remember that. That was the one with oh crap, what's that actor? It's the Dirty Dancing guy. It was it that Metal Storm?
No, Metal Storm was
I was thinking of Steel Dawn. It was Patrick Swayze. I was thinking Steel Dawn.
No. Patrick Swayze comes up on this show too much.
Yeah. Well, what was I don't know if I've seen Metal Storm or not.
Night Court. Metal Storm. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Actually, I should just let you borrow my 3D system again and watch
you have Metal Storm on 3D.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
But anyway, he said that you're talking about Bull?
That's Richard Mall.
Yeah, Richard Mall. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, it was just too clean, and I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, speaking of too clean of movies and mainstream, have you seen any of the trailers for the X-Men First Class?
Yeah, I have. I've seen the. I like the character spots that are being done.
Oh, I know. They look
very cool.
They look great.
And it's almost to the point now. Like I'm really excited about the movie. I'm behind it, and now I don't want to see any more because I don't want too much to be given away.
That's exactly what happened. I watched the character spots, and I was like, "Damn it, this is going to be a good film." I have hopes for it. And I'm not really into the X-Men films. They're kind of like the Spider-Man film for me. They're something when I'm on tour. If it's on the hotel TV, I'll play it in the background while I'm checking my email or doing whatever. But never really got into it.
Really?
I've never seen it from start to end. I've always, I always walk into the room at the same scene. What's that? That's really unfortunate. Miley says it's unfortunate.
Yeah, the first two X-Men movies are great.
Are they?
Yeah, they're really, really good. They really do the comic justice. And unfortunately, Marvel has messed the X-Men up in that the X-Men do not live in the same universe that they're building for Thor and Captain America and Iron Man.
Why?
It just doesn't, because it doesn't fit with the continuity. As far as the movies go, the X-Men live in a different world than Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man. And which like I said, it's unfortunate because that'd be great, man. To have the X-Men show up in an Avengers movie. That'd be really cool.
What? I mean, they could still do it, I guess. Right?
Nah, they messed it up too much.
It's too fucked up?
Yeah, it's too far gone.
I'm sure they'll find a way.
But the first two X-Men movies are really, really good. I mean, they're really, really well done. And then the third one is just total crap.
Really?
Really bad.
Why was the third one so bad?
Because Brett Ratner directed it.
That's the only reason.
Yeah. Yeah, they just, I don't know, they screw it up. They take the best X-Men stories and water them down and I don't know. I think they try to do too much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the movie suffers for it. But we'll see. This new one is directed by, was it Matthew Vaughn?
I don't have the directors.
I think it's Vaughn. He's the guy that directed Layer Cake, and I think he also did Stardust and Kick-Ass. That was his last movie, which I liked a lot. And I'm hopeful, man. I think it's really going to be cool.
Well, let's take a second and watch the trailer. This is the international trailer because I think it's better than the U.S. trailer. But this is X-Men First Class. This is the second international trailer.
Name's Xavier. Charles Xavier. How do you do?
Cheers.
So much more to you than you know.
My son!
Not just pain in anger. There's good in you too. And when you can harness all that, you'll possess a power no one can match. Not even me.
Tomorrow, mankind will know that mutants exist.
You ready for this?
Let's find out.
Listen to me very carefully, my friend. Killing will not bring you peace.
Peace was never an option.
Beautiful. It looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one.
I am too. It's.
God, please don't suck. Please don't
I
suck.
know. And please be in 3D, damn it.
Well, his track record, the director's track record's really good. I mean, I've liked everything he's done.
Yeah.
So I'm very hopeful.
It just looks so good. It just has every element that makes a good movie. I mean, you probably can't tell from this trailer, but if you go back, if you're interested, just do a YouTube search for the characters trailer for X-Men First Class. There's Mystique, Banshee, Havoc, and Beast. And each of the trailers kind of take a piece from each of the other character trailer, but it really kind of pulls you in and makes you want to really like these characters and really get behind what they're going to go through. And I think it's awesome. I mean, because we all know, we all understand these characters from either from comic books or from, seeing the movies. And we grew up with them, whether we followed it completely or not. And to see them at this date and see them done in the trailers this well.
Yeah, but there is some continuity errors in it. In that, one of the character spots, there's one for Havoc too, and Havoc is supposed to be Cyclops' brother, and so I'm not sure how they're going to resolve that. Maybe he's like a different Havoc. I don't know. But according to the X-Men canon that I remember is that their parents threw them out of a plane because it was crashing and they had to share a parachute, and it was Cyclops getting struck in the head that sort of disabled his control over his optic blasts, and so that's why he can never turn them off, because he was struck in the head and injured, and he was struck in the head by his younger brother, who was Havoc. Havoc was his younger brother, and this Havoc obviously would have to be the older brother.
Damn it.
Well, that's okay, right? That's okay, right? It's a different world. I'm just curious if they're even gonna address it, or if it'll just be an afterthought. I don't know. It's just I'm like the fat guy on The Simpsons pointing out,
worst movie ever.
Worst movie ever.
3D Movie Man in the chat room says we have to see Hobo with a Shotgun, and I have to agree with you.
I've heard that is so good. You know what I learned? I learned that Hobo with a Shotgun was inspired by a fake trailer that was between Grindhouse or between Planet Terror and Death Proof in the Grindhouse double feature in the European cut of that film.
Yeah.
So the Hobo with a Shotgun trailer was never shown in American audiences.
No, it was a contest that was done during that time that the Grindhouse films double feature came out. It was a contest that you would make a trailer, your own Grindhouse trailer, and whoever won would get a feature film from it.
I didn't see. I read that it was a trailer that had been like sort of sandwiched between the two films in the European version.
It may have been put in there, but from what I understand,
did somebody like get Rutger Hauer over a weekend or something?
No, they've been working on this forever. Those films came out.
Was Rutger Hauer in the original trailer?
I haven't ever seen the original trailer.
Me neither. I want to.
I don't know. I've only seen the trailer that they say was the winning, or actually from the trailer from the feature.
Because Machete fits that criterion too, right? Machete was a fake trailer. I mean, it was a trailer for a fake movie in the Grindhouse double feature.
Yeah.
And the fan response was so positive and overwhelming that the movie got made somehow, magically, which is awesome.
Well, the director who did Hobo with a Shotgun did Treevenge, which is a phenomenal short.
Treevenge?
Yeah, we play it every Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, it's on Zombie Popcorn's YouTube page. You can actually do that, or you can go to zombiepopcorn.com and just hit the search bar and search for Treevenge. You can watch it for the entire film. It's awesome, and it's done in the that same style. And the funny thing is that we're talking about Treevenge. If you read the comments on the Zombie Popcorn YouTube page, everybody's pissed off that the baby gets killed. I think that's like the fucking awesome moment. But
so did 3D Movie Man see Hobo with a Shotgun?
Well, 3D Movie Man went to Texas Frightmare, and yet has not sent me photos or told me anything about it. I think he needs to call in and tell us how it was. Because last year he met Elvira and was sending me 3D photos of him and Elvira, which Elvira is a huge 3D movie fan. And all these other updates, but so far, nothing.
So I take it he loved it.
Yeah, 3D Movie Man said about Hobo with a Shotgun, it's all those rated R 80s straight to VHS bad movies put together. And that sounds pretty good.
That sounds pretty awesome.
I can't.
What's not to love there?
Really? I just want to watch them now. It's not like the VHS that we saw the other night, Full Body Massage.
Yeah.
Which you will learn about in the future.
So Hobo with a Shotgun, it's got a on demand release now, doesn't it?
It's on PB. He just wrote that it's on.
Pay-per-view.
Yep.
And then I imagine it'll come out on video here shortly.
I'm sure it'll be on Netflix soon and DVD and Blu-ray.
Oh, I'll get it.
Yeah, I mean it looks great, and yeah, because I'm sure you'll get it at the video store.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then I guess maybe we should have a Hobo with a Shotgun party. Maybe we should do a dinner and a movie with a Hobo.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if we could do that because of the rights.
I just want to see it.
Yeah, 3D Movie Man in the chat room says it's awesome. Awesome.
I expect nothing less.
And he's still just ignoring the fact that he hasn't told us anything about Texas Frightmare. I don't think he went.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, Final Destination 4 was the very first Final Destination film that I seen. And the only reason I saw it was because
it was in 3D.
Well, I'm happy to announce that they finally released a trailer for Final Destination 5, which will hit theaters August 12th of this year. And I want to play the trailer for it, because I haven't watched it yet. I saved it just for this show. And then we can come back and talk about why.
So you haven't watched it yet?
I know I saved it for the show. I saw that they released it, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to put it in the show notes so I can watch it, be fresh, and give my opinion on it, because I'm sure it's going to be about number 4. But anyway, here is Final Destination 5, the official trailer.
I see that it's been quite a while since your first consultation. What made you decide to take the leap today?
A lot is going on in my life. I don't want to miss anything.
When we're done, you'll have perfect vision. Do you know what? My assistant's giving me an incomplete file. I'll be right back.
Hold on, you're leaving? Is that supposed to be happening?
few survive the disaster. And then one by one, death comes for them all.
Are you saying that we can't stop this?
There's an answer for everything.
It's kill or be killed. Nobody's safe. Oh my God.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that last scene was awesome. I'm sorry, that was funny as shit. That was.
I kind of like you know, I don't know. You could maybe regard them as terrible movies, but I kind of have a secret place in my heart for the Final Destination movies, in that the process of making that film, just the writing alone, has to be a bunch of guys in a room thinking of all the crazy ways somebody could get hurt and killed in the most bizarre fashion imaginable.
Has
and then,
to be.
like, oh yeah, go with that. Put it on screen, man.
It's awesome.
I do like. You gotta like death by LASIK surgery.
It's totally awesome. And how ridiculous is the last scene?
Yeah. And I wonder if that would kill you or just hurt really bad.
The needles are not even thick.
That doesn't matter.
Yes, if it's not in 3D, I'm not seeing it though, and I didn't see any plug for it to be in 3D.
I think it is going to be in 3D.
It
Come
better.
on, with the
It has
ladies
to
coming
be.
at you with the little needles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has to be in 3D.
They had all the earmarks of a 3D gimmick.
No, that's what makes it. That's it. 3D. Okay, we had this conversation 2 weeks ago about how 3D can make a bad movie good, and
it didn't help Priest.
Well, because it wasn't real 3D. It was a 2D 3D conversion, and don't get me and 3D Movie Man on it, but 3D Movie Man confirmed that this will be shot in 3D, and that's what saved this franchise. It for me anyway, because I'd never seen any of the other Final Destinations. No reason to. I'm not that inclined to see it, but when 4 came out and it was in 3D, I was curious. I was like, hell yeah, I'll go see it. And I loved it. I loved how the director and the writers went and paid attention to how to properly use 3D in kill scenes. And it was their first one. This one looks like they took it a step further and have more experience. At least the director has a little bit more understanding behind it.
Yeah. Well, maybe is
hopefully
it the same director? Do you know, or did they turn it over to somebody else? I don't know. Regardless, yeah. I like the Final Destination movies. I mean, they're a fun little ride, and I think it's a clever idea. And I can't believe it's lasted this long.
Oh, you saw the 3D. See, that's the thing. We saw an event screening of Priest, so we didn't get any of the trailers before. 3D Movie Man in the chat room says that he saw the 3D trailer for Final Destination 5 in front of Priest. Oh, I bet it looked great. Was it?
You know, with that lady coming at you with those acupuncture needles.
He falls off the table.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was just a funny.
So, if you haven't seen the other Final Destination movies, they're worth checking out. They're pretty neat. And I don't know if they're gonna do it in this version, but it was either the second or the third Final Destination movie. They came up with a practical effect technique where, like, if something happens to a body, they would build a model that has like bone and blood and muscle, so it would respond to physics the same way a human body would.
Nice.
And then like if there's a scene where a guy gets smashed in a sign, they would like smash that model with a sign and film that. And it was pretty bloody and brutal, but kind of neat.
That's awesome though. Yeah, I think they just probably sit around and just drink beer and say, "How would you want to kill somebody?"
Yeah. Well, I guess they just go about their normal day and be like, what is the worst that could happen in this situation that would end my life? Like,
and then
I probably had LASIK surgery that year and was like, man, this is great. I'm going to use this.
He's like, this is scary, but let's kick it up a notch. It's like the scene with in 4 when the lawnmower just going along. I think everybody has the same thought. It's like when you're walking by somebody mowing the lawn, you're like, you get hit pebbles or whatever. You're like, hey, but this one shoots across the street into a building and impales in this woman's eye.
What are the odds?
I know. It's awesome. But yeah, 3D movie, man. We will talk about that film and that trailer later on.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about that, but we'll talk about that other. Did you ever play the Tekken games?
Do you mean, did I get my ass handed to me in the Tekken games by people who are much better than me? Yes.
So I would take it as okay. Well, there's a full-length 3D film coming out that is in full CG, set in the Tekken universe, coming out.
That's pretty neat. I think that Tekken, if it's a Tekken game, I remember it's a fight game, right?
Yeah.
And I just remember that it was not as good as Mortal Kombat.
I hated Mortal Kombat.
Why? Mortal Kombat was awesome.
I can't say that it was awesome. I'm not a fan of Mortal Kombat. I did not like the gameplay. I did not like the visuals. The only thing that people liked about Mortal Kombat was the fatalities, and I'm sorry, it just didn't do anything for me.
And Tekken was better. How?
I loved it because of the moves and the flow and the characters, the visuals, everything about the fighting game was such a smooth. Everything about it was just fun. I mean, Miley would say, "Well, it was no Soul Calibur," but I mean, Miley loves Soul Calibur. Yeah, but it was so much better than Mortal Kombat.
Well, all right, that's fine. I mean, that's why there's chocolate and vanilla. That's okay. But
Well, we need to get rid of it because
Is Tekken the one with
the drunken fighter.
Yeah, it was the old guy that had the drunken fighting style. Yeah, and I don't know, man. I found that game incredibly hard to play.
Really, I love that game.
With the capoeira, like the breakdancing kind of moves.
Yeah, and
That's Tekken.
yeah, that was Tekken.
It's okay.
I mean, what you say? That's okay. We stayed up many of nights playing it on the projector, fighting each other. We did that in Godzilla. No, we did Tekken. Yeah. Because I like Tekken, you like Soul Calibur, and we would go back and forth on that. But anyway, that's domestic. Yes, me and my wife were fighting over fighting games. But yeah.
I can't believe you didn't just agree with her, because that preserves the domestic bliss.
No, we fight all the time. No, I'm just kidding. What is 3D Movie Man saying? I can't see it from here.
He said he heard that the Peter Vincent character won't be a horror host. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's a picture of the actor who's going to be playing the Peter Vincent character.
We should just.
And I don't know. He looks like Chris Angel to me. That's what he looked like.
Well, we should.
He's not in the trailer at all, though.
We should just jump into it since we're talking about what he's talking about. Since we haven't mentioned it, is the Fright Night remake 3D movie. He said,
I'm sorry, 3D Movie Man's getting ahead of the game. Does he have the schedule? Does he know?
No, he doesn't. He's just. We'll jump into it because 3D Movie Man hasn't been on for a while. So let me cue up the trailer here. I'm kind of excited about it because I love the original Fright Night.
Yeah, it was great.
And I mean, everything about it was great, and I would watch it 100 times still today. Let's watch the new trailer because I didn't watch this. I wanted to save this one for the show as well. So let's take a moment to watch the new Fright Night video trailer.
A great drive orchestrated by Mueller.
We got advertisements. I always forget about ads.
You know what, man? I hate to see football ads when the NHL playoffs are going on.
I hate seeing football ads anytime. But yeah.
You know, yeah, and it's about the lockout. Goddamn, men being paid millions of dollars to play a game.
Here it is.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, just checking in. What you up to?
Adam Johnson. Adam?
You know Adam's missing, right?
Right, kids aren't coming to school. It happens all the time.
I don't know if you were paying attention to roll call, but he's not the only one that's gone.
You're nuts.
This is my son, Charlie, and his girlfriend.
Hi. So Jerry is our new neighbor.
Hey.
Hey. Now listen to me. We graphed up all the disappearances. That's you right there in the center next to his house. I really hate to be the one to tell you this, but that guy, your neighbor?
Jerry.
Yeah, he's a vampire.
That is a terrible vampire name. Jerry?
Watching me. I've been watching you. Your mom, where there's a kind of neglect, gives off a scent. And your girl, she's ripe. It's on you to look out for them, because there are a lot of bad people out there, Charlie.
What's that?
I'm gonna end him or he's gonna end me. That's how it's gonna be.
Charlie's gonna find me.
I'm counting on it.
You smell that? It's your fear.
Did I kill him?
Hopefully.
It's going to be in 3D, so I'll be happy about that. But I don't know. They made it too serious.
Well, I mean, the first movie wasn't exactly a comedy. I mean, it was, I don't know. So, all right, this is what it lacks, or at least from this trailer.
Yeah.
Just with regards to a remake, because one of the greatest, one of the best things about the movie, the original movie, was the Peter Vincent character, who was the horror chef. That was played. That was
awesome.
That was Grandpa Munster, right? If I remember right.
Was it?
No,
that wasn't. No.
That's somebody else. It was. What was that actor's name? He's really creepy too. I know. It'll occur to me. So there's no sign of Peter Vincent, and then remember his best friend was the kid called Evil.
Real cool, Brewster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't see any of that in there either. And I'll admit, okay, Colin Farrell's probably a little cooler, scarier maybe than Chris Sarandon.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I guess in the end we have to wait to see it. But the other one was just way classier. This just seems like, typical Hostel, which I hated that movie type. You know, just I don't know.
No, I disagree. Hostel was just torture porn.
Hostel was horrible. We went to go see Hostel at the theater when it came
Roddy
out.
McDowell was the Peter Vincent. It was
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
3D Movie Man's fast.
He'll get you.
Yeah, Roddy McDowell. And there's a picture of the Peter Vincent character somewhere online, and he looks just like Chris Angel.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's Stuart Townsend is playing him, but I could be wrong about that. But I don't know. Well, I want it to be good, but it's that same idea. Like here's a beloved movie from when I was growing up. It's like one of those films that we had on VHS at home. I've probably seen it 100 times, and someone's gonna make another version of it that likely will not be as good.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've seen remakes and new versions of films that even though it doesn't give me the same emotions as the original, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I can deal with it being good. I mean, I want it to be good, but it's just I don't know. You watch movies like that, especially something like Fright Night, I guess, and it's just I don't know. I just don't understand why it needed to be remade.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I don't know. But
3D Movie Man says, "What happened?"
Yeah,
Over? I guess
yeah,
he
no.
lost the
my Flash player just crashed. So I'm restarting the video side of it. I don't know why Flash has been crashing so much on every browser that's been just going down. But anyway, a movie that was remade that I really enjoyed was the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I can see that.
I enjoyed it a lot. It was great. And both, even the prequel that they did to the new movie was really good. And I'm really happy to hear that they're doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 3D. That's picking up where the original left off. And
This is like the triple threat for you, man. It's like
know,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre and in 3D. And I don't know if what can we get to just make it perfect? I don't know. Rob Zombie produces it or something.
No, I don't want Rob Zombie to do it. Keep talking real quick.
Yeah. We got to clue 3D Movie Man into what's going on. Did they get the audio?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't think they get anything right now. Shit. Talk real quick. Yeah, but...
Technical problems. I don't know. Well, I mean, what would it take for that to be the triple threat for you, man? Like, you don't like Rob Zombie, so I don't know. John Carpenter, throw him in there.
For the remake of the 3D, I don't know, because there's only one good John Carpenter film.
Maybe Sid Haig, get him involved.
No, I'm saying the only good Rob Zombie movie there is Devil's Rejects. Oh shit! And the new one that he's making,
Toby Hooper has a cameo.
Yeah, that would kind of be cool. The only good Rob Zombie film is The Devil's Rejects, and the only I don't know what would make it great. I mean, if it was done in the same vein as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre ended up being, I would be happy with it. If it was like that, done that well, and in 3D, I'd be fucking excited. It'd be amazing.
I always thought the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was really scary, man. That was like one of those movies that it really got to me when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just the reputation that it had or what, but it certainly I don't know. It was frightening.
Yeah, it really was. And what made it really frightening for me was, I grew up in Texas, and my dad would always tell me that he was going to take me to where they sold the human flesh and the chili. And just so we could try it.
Just so you could try it.
And I grew up my whole childhood life believing that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was real.
So, right, so you always see that, this is something I haven't looked into, and I probably should, but, right, it's always thrown out there as, like, inspired by real events or based on a true story. So where's the nugget of truth in it?
Well, there is nugget of truth, just the same way that Psycho was inspired by true stories and stuff. It was based on Ed Gein.
Oh, okay.
Loosely based in terms of the things that happened, like the lampshades and the human flesh and all of that. But not entirely. I mean, if it was just loosely based on Ed Gein. Oh, come on. But yeah. But I grew up believing that it was completely real and that it really happened in Texas. And that's what made the movie fucking awesome for me.
Well, right. Anything like that, like if you believe that it's real, you're gonna be more frightened of it than if you know it's a complete fabrication.
Yeah.
I know.
And I think that's what I miss about the because we're too connected now to have movies that can get away with saying it's real. Back then, when that came out,
right. When they said it was real with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there was no internet to look and see
there was no fact checker, and you were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And
they said it's real. It must be.
But I mean, they had newspaper clips, and
yeah.
Yeah,
that's a very good point. I mean, as far as that kind of thing goes, like I'm willing to suspend disbelief for a while because I like watching horror movies. I like to be scared. I want to be scared.
Yeah.
And so I'll play along, but at the end of the day, I like to separate fact from fiction.
No, I like to pretend. I wish that, I wish that Texas Chainsaw Massacre was real.
You wish it was real. If only it were real.
If it was only real.
Hey, 3D Movie Man says, where does he get the audio side for a while?
Link is in the thing.
We've been plagued with technical difficulties lately.
It's this new update because I'm beta testing this new program, and for some reason it is not compatible with browsers, and it was before this new update, and now that we have this update, Flash has been crashing all the time on my computers, and I think I just have to uninstall Flash. Maybe that's what I should do now, and fix it because it's.
So it was working fine, and somebody fixed it.
Yeah, it stopped working.
That's good. That's always good.
It fucking drives me nuts because. Anyway, it kills the show. We don't need to talk about technical issues. Let's move along. Piranha 3D, which hits the theaters. Actually, Piranha Double D, 3 Double D.
Why do they call it 3 Double D?
I don't know. They like boobs, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I'm down. I'm down with that. if that's where they get it.
I mean, that's all. Did you see Piranha 3D?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think
there's nothing wrong with that.
David Hasselhoff has agreed to join the crew.
I think that Hasselhoff.
We're up and going. If you want to go back in the stream.
I think that Hasselhoff is going to lend the correct amount of cheese that the Piranha franchise needs.
I think so too. I think that'd be great. The original film again was it was a 2D 3D conversion, which I hated. I hated that they did it, but they saved themselves with a good movie on it, and they say that they're going to do Piranha 3D or Piranha 3 Double D in native 3D.
Maybe that's where they call it 3 Double D. I don't know. I just think that
No, it's because of the boobs. Did you not see their website?
No, I haven't
completely.
seen the website.
The original one, they had a whole section of like Girls Gone Wild section that promoted the film, so it was all about that.
Hey, awesome! When is that ever not a good idea?
I don't know.
But I thought the first.
We're good in the video if you want to go back.
All right, right on. But no, the first Piranha, or I'm sorry, the most recent Piranha movie, it was campy without faking it, man. It was genuine camp, and it knew what it was doing, and it did a good job. Like sometimes movies try to fake or force camp, and you can't.
And it doesn't work. Yeah.
But Piranha worked, man. It was great.
It really did, and Piranha 3 Double D is their tagline that they're giving out is "There's something in the water again." And this time, no one is safe from the flesh-eating fish as they sink their razor-sharp teeth into the visitors of the best summer attraction, the Big Wet Water Park.
Awesome.
So they're getting into the water park and just going. And David Hasselhoff has to be a lifeguard.
Yeah, I know, right? He needs to be a lifeguard. Come on, man. That guy's whole... He's like... Like, he doesn't get cast for his ability to act. He gets cast for his ability to be David Hasselhoff.
That is true. And you know what's going to be so bad with him? He's going to walk around...
Without a shirt.
With thinking he's the shit. And it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. It hits theater November 23rd.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
You know
Wait, I can take Miley to it for her birthday. She didn't like that.
That'll be a date, man.
That would totally be a date. That's a date movie.
Yeah. I'm always surprised at a movie like Piranha, because I go into it like expecting it to be completely awful.
Yeah.
And it's really good. Like I find myself enjoying it in spite of myself.
That is true. That is true. I want to step back in our previous conversation real quick before we had all this issue. We're talking about films that they redid. We were talking about Fright Night, doing the Fright Night remake. I can't talk. And how they were taking all of our favorite films and modernizing it. Well, MTV has done that, and now starting on June 5th on MTV, they have a series coming out based on Teen Wolf. The TV series is called Teen Wolf. So let me take a second here, and we'll play the TV trailer for.
Oh, sweet! Because I haven't seen it yet. I looked for it, but I couldn't find it, or I don't know. I was unable to successfully navigate your link.
All right. Well, here it is.
Oh, now I'm excited.
Oh. I was like, what the fuck is that?
What's happening to me? What if she finds out?
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a cheesy ass teaser.
Who is that kid? Have we seen him in anything before?
I haven't seen him in anything. Let me see if I can pull up something here. But Tyler Posey is Teen Wolf, and I don't know who that is. Anyway.
You know, I don't know. So that teaser made it look like the show was going to be very serious, whereas the Teen Wolf movie was meant to be a comedy. You know? It was kind of lighthearted and almost tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think this is a response to all of the successful tweeny vampire shows?
It has to be, because that was totally Twilight-esque.
Yeah. Right. I mean, okay. So now you're a producer, and you're trying to launch a new show. Like, all right, let's get a good-looking guy. It'll be a love story. He's in high school. We'll sell it. It'll be that whole crowd. Only he's not a vampire. He's a werewolf. And then now you're going to get some brand recognition. Let's buy the rights to Teen Wolf. And it'll be nothing like Teen Wolf, but we get to say it's Teen Wolf so we can...
Well, he's teen, and
he's a wolf. Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe it'll be good. I got. You know what? I don't think it will be good.
No, I don't think it will be either.
I hope it is. And to the naysayers, I can only point to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That was an awesome show based on a crap movie.
Yeah. Whoa, shit.
You all right? I'm unplugged.
I know, I got you.
Okay.
I need to put it in front.
All right. I didn't know if I was unplugged on You're all tangled up, dude. You're
know.
You're like tangled in all the cords in the command center.
No, that's why I was moving that, because I was like, I can't move. Like spider web on me.
You've got all this electronic spaghetti going on.
It's fucked up. But yeah, so that was Team. I don't know. I think. I don't know. I don't think MTV has ever put out anything good that was like that. So.
All right. So if 3D Movie Man says, okay, since they remake everything, what movie do you think needs to be remade? That's an interesting question.
I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I'm not against remakes. I think if they do it with dignity and actually put the time and effort that the movie requires into it, instead of just trying to regurgitate something that made them money from the franchise in the past.
You know, I don't know. I think the movies that need to get remade are. What are you doing down there?
Keep going.
Oh.
Don't worry about me.
I think the movies that need to get remade would be like a movie that tries to do something and then doesn't succeed for whatever reason, maybe budget constraints or for whatever reason, because you know it seems like they're remaking successful movies and then doing not as good a job.
Well, even George Lucas did this with Star Wars.
No, don't get me started on George Lucas.
No, I'm getting you started on George Lucas.
God damn it.
I mean, even his film he's remaking.
Yeah, 3 minutes and says, there goes the audio.
No, don't say the audio went. Don't. That is not good. Fuck.
So.
No, we're still good on audio.
Okay, it could have just when you unplugged it, because.
Well, that has nothing to do with them. And this does not make good radio. This movie.
Goddamn technical difficulties.
And we don't have any tech. Let's go.
That's right. No problems, only solutions. What movie would I remake? I would remake a movie that probably the first time I saw it sucked, and it could be done better.
Well, that pretty much every movie we watched in our childhood.
No, not necessarily. Right? Fright Night, I thought was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really good. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. What did I see that was lousy? Oh, yeah. Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. Horrible.
But I don't want to see it remade.
But that's a movie that could be redone so much better. You could do such a better job on that.
But I don't want to see it remade. I mean, it's just...
Right. But here's the thing, right? And here's the I guess the conundrum is, yeah, that movie sucked. So if I saw a trailer for a remake of the movie Sleepwalkers, I'd go, I don't want to see that movie. It sucked the first time.
Yeah.
So nobody's gonna push a remake forward. And the only things that get remade are the ones that are positively reviewed and critically and commercially a success.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Yep. I think... I'm trying to think of a movie that I would want to see remade. And... I don't know.
Well, that's where I'm starting.
Well, no, actually,
like,
I take that back. Every 2D, 3D conversion movie I would like to see be remade.
Remade in native 3D.
Into, yes. By far, definitely. That is my answer. And I wouldn't mind seeing Friday the 13th Part 3 3D redone modern with 3D.
I don't know. I don't think Halloween, Friday the 13th. I don't think those need 3D. I don't know.
Who are you?
Yeah. I mean, I like a 3D movie, but I just don't find that as the requirement. You know, it turns out like the whole world is in 3D, man. I see 3D all day, every day.
But you don't have swords, knives, bullets, rocks, everything that will kill you flying at you.
I might. You never know.
Then you need to film it in 3D
Yeah.
and share it with the rest of us. Because we don't have it. And I want it. Yeah, but I think the Teen Wolf makeover, the TV makeover, it's going to be an hour-long, 12-episode series that starts on June 5th.
It looks kind of angsty.
Yeah, it's Teen Wolf is the story of Scott as he tries to walk the line between what he wants and what he can't help from wanting. Will the bite end up being a gift, or will it be a curse? And what will it mean for his relationship with Allison, the girl he can't get enough of?
Will it mean he wins the big basketball game?
I wish they would do that, because that was a good movie. I don't know. What's that?
I don't know. 3D Movie Man's got something going on here. I told my mom we were streaming now, and I'm hoping like she chimes in on the chat room at some point. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to like steer her into it or show her how to do it, because she's not very tech savvy.
He said the movie that he wants is The Town That Dreaded Sundown, based on a true story about the Texarkana killer. It needs to be remade in 3D. Well, I don't think I've seen that.
I have not seen that either.
But speaking of serial killers, I have two stories that are in the news about serial killers. One dealing with John Wayne Gacy. And a Las Vegas art collector is putting on an art show / charity sale that features John Wayne Gacy's painting. And the money's supposed to go and help people with violent crimes, but the crime victims group, the nonprofit, does not want them to do it because they say it's in bad taste.
My understanding is that his auction will benefit the victims of John Wayne Gacy specifically.
No, it was
not just generally the victims of violent crime. But
no, it's going to an organization.
Is it those victims specifically?
No,
or?
It's just an organization that deals with victims similar. But I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I think it's a little bit bad taste. I mean, what is the estimation of his artwork? Is he regarded as a legitimate artist, or is it just because of who he was that his art is?
It's because it's who he was, I'm sure, because I mean, everybody that I've read on all the different news articles, they're saying that his art's shit. And he only... let me back up. This is the art that he did when he was waiting execution, when he was sitting on death row.
Yeah.
Because he did, like, a lot. And he gave them to... I forget how many. I think they said over 80 paintings or something. I forget how many there were, but he did this while he was on death row. Some of them went out to his fans. You know, there was people that wrote him all the time, and he sent that out to his fans. And the ones that were left over were either auctioned off by the state, and the rest of them were put in a big bonfire, and the victims' families and victims came out and they burned all the paintings. So these are the ones left over, and that they're doing a charity sale for it to raise money for a crime victim group. That all the proceeds will go to them, and they're just not happy about it. They're just saying it's bad taste.
I could see their point, but I don't know. Maybe at the end of the day, like the greater good is served by doing this. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that.
Yeah.
Man, it's interesting that you could buy his artwork, and I don't know if I'd want to have it in the living room. That'd be sort of a morbid conversation piece.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it was like on This Non-Religious Life, episode 3, I think it was. Y'all were talking about relics and what the crazy shit people collect that are the more gruesome and stuff. I think it falls under that category.
Yeah, but that's true. Do you know? There's a funny thing about
Send it to us, 3D Movement. We'll talk about that in a second.
There's a funny thing about those relics of serial killers. There's a guy that he's a psychologist. Who I forget his name, and he explores that idea of contamination, and like for instance, what he'll do is when he gives talks, he has a sweater and he passes the sweater around and people put the sweater on. And then he says, and after several people have put the sweater on, and it's not true, but this is what he says. He says, oh, well, this sweater belonged to John Wayne Gacy. And then people are reluctant to put the sweater on. So he's like, well, why is that? It's just a sweater. And it's not like there's any part of Gacy that will rub off onto the sweater and onto you, but we have this weird way that we think as people that sweater is somehow contaminated. And I wonder if the people are just wanting his artwork for that contamination factor, just to have, like, oh my God, he touched this. Yeah. And he, this is something he did. And that's, hey, I agree. That's a little weird and it's a little macabre. But at the end of the day, if this auction serves the greater good, I don't have too much of a problem with it.
I mean, people do that with anybody. It's like if Jared Leto walked in here and gave Miley something, she would freak the fuck out.
You even like him when he got fat for chapter 27? Because he got really fat.
Still pretty.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think hero worship, either way, whether it's serial killer, or not, it's kind of odd.
No, I think it's kind of neat. Like I would like to go to the Darwin Museum and see the microscopes that Darwin used and touched in his lab equipment.
Yeah.
I just think that'd be really cool. I mean, come on, how cool would it be if they said like, oh, this telescope, it belonged to Galileo? You'd be like, well, that's awesome.
No, I think most people would go, who?
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I can see that, right? And I like I can understand the way victims groups want to move on and they want to put this behind them. But somebody as high profile as that,
yeah, you can't. I mean, there's going to be pieces of him.
As long as he's not like, as long as he's not glorified, you know what I mean? Like there's a difference between having an art exhibit and glorifying Gacy. And I bet it's a fine line.
It's a very fine line, I'm sure. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it could be this guy is putting the art show up, and he was like, well, the only way that I can actually get away with showing his artwork, because I'm a collector or whatever, is say the proceeds are going to go to this event, and it'd be good publicity for him anyway. And so maybe he's using the crime victim organization to exploit them, to get a name in the art business or whatever, to get people into his gallery or whatever it is. I don't know. It pisses people off.
I understand they're upset, but and I'm not saying it's right, I guess, but there's a part of me that thinks you got to move on.
Yeah. 3D Movement, going back to, actually, we'll talk about that. I want to finish up this topic. And the other bit of news is, I love, because we talked about To Will Potter a couple weeks back, and Will Potter, runs a website, Green is the New Red, which deals with how the government labels activists, peaceful activists, as terrorists, and how it seems like they go to such extremes, the government goes to such extremes to silence people that fall under their definition of what terrorist is, or what the actions, of individuals can be labeled as being a terrorist. So I found it really funny that on May 18th through June 2nd, the federal government is auctioning off the Unabomber's items online. And it's not just, socks, driver's license, which does have some of that. There are up to 60 items for sale, which include personal documents such as birth certificates, checks, academic transcripts, typewriters, and more than 20,000 pages of handwritten documents, including the original handwritten and typewritten versions of his manifesto. And
I think that's hilarious.
I think it is
right?
too.
A dude wants to auction off Gacy paintings, and everybody gets their panties in a twist. And then, but the federal government wants to auction off, some stuff that Krasinski touched, and then that's okay now.
Yeah, nobody is protesting.
I don't hear anybody getting all upset over that. And which is essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
And they're not doing it to preserve it for posterity. It's a cash grab.
Yeah. And it's really bizarre. And I think, sure, I don't think I wouldn't want anything of the Unabomber or John Wayne Gacy's. I think I would lean more towards John Wayne Gacy than I would. I don't know. I can't say that.
They're both crazy.
Yeah.
They're both crazy lunatics, sociopaths, and
yeah. Why don't we collect the crazy homeless drunk person that that you see walking down the street?
Because they didn't kill a bunch of people.
We don't know that.
Well, yeah, right. We don't know that. I don't know that for sure.
So what we need to do is start a movement where we go around every city in the United States and find the lunatic and just collect something from them.
Because eventually that guy's going to do something. He's going to be on the news.
We'll play the odds,
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't understand the Well, I guess maybe I do understand the fascination. I get it. Hey, man, if I had some disposable income around and you could get the handwritten manifesto of John Krasinski, would you do it? Would you buy it? Shit, yeah, man.
No, because I don't think I would buy it. Because I can read the information for free. I would save the money to upgrade this crappy software.
Yeah. No, well, right. So, okay. So if I had the money lying around, there'd be other things I would do with it. It's low on the list of priorities.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I can see why people want it. That's, people want to have unusual things, unusual conversation pieces.
Yeah.
How many handwritten manifestos from a certifiable crazy person are there?
Well, I guess it depends on how you define certified crazy. Because I've met some interesting peeps over the years that could fall under that.
Right. Well, all right. So, but that's the difference between famous and infamous.
Yeah. All it takes is one action.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I totally see that. That's strange, and I don't understand why we have that fascination with those kind of things. But yeah, there it is.
Yeah, 3 movements and I need hardware that does all the work, and that's so true. But I'm working on it. Give me $20,000. There's a donation on the Zombie Popcorn Network site if you would like to donate to the cause.
Really, we have a donation site. How's that working out?
Yeah, as you can see, we.
And you got the command center limping along.
Yeah. That's just the way it is. If you're going to do a live show, you have to deal with all the bugs. That's why everybody else does
yeah.
pre-recorded. Because look at this non-religious life, how well that looks. So.
That looks good. You're doing a bang up job.
Well, thank you. But anyway, never take issues. It's just part of the territory. We will grow and overcome them. But yeah, it's just strange. You know what I want to collect?
Did you ever see the Seinfeld episode?
I don't watch
when they had there was a Seinfeld episode. It reminded me of the Unabomber stuff where Kramer gets into like this betting loop where he has a gambling problem and he winds up at the airport and he's betting with like this rich Texan guy about like when flights are gonna come in. They're just betting on anything and and Kramer he winds up owing a lot of money and so as collateral for this big bet that he makes, Newman brings in a postal worker's bag that belonged to a famous serial killer who was a postal.
Berkowitz. Yeah, Berkowitz.
Yeah, Berkowitz. Yeah. So he like they're
scary.
Yeah, I know, right? She knew it right off the bat. Yeah, so they have the same idea. It's just a leather mail carrier's bag,
yeah.
but he winds up using it as collateral for this huge, large big money bet that he's trying to cover. It was a funny episode too, by the way.
I never got into Seinfeld, but that's a different story.
Anytime I can bring it down to a Seinfeld reference, I always go for that.
Well, let me take your Seinfeld reference and raise you by one. You mentioned it was a Texan that he was betting.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm a Texan. And there are things that Texans do.
Do you have a 10-gallon hat?
I did until somebody sat on it. Somebody sat on it and crushed it.
Was it it's not a 10X Beaver, was it?
No. Anyway, so there are things that Texans do at times that really, really make me love Texas. Because, well, let me just tell you the story and maybe you'll figure it out.
Can I tell you my favorite Texanism? Because I used to be married to a Texan.
Oh, yeah, tell me.
Yeah, and her favorite thing to say was she said in Texas, if somebody says, "Oh, bless his heart," she said that is code for "you dumb motherfucker."
That is true. That is true. Yep. They said that to me a lot. But speaking of dumb motherfuckers, in Houston, the Houston newspaper ran a piece that pissed a lot of people off. The title of the article that they ran was "The 10 Hottest Women on the Texas Sex Offender Registry."
What? That's hilarious.
I mean, I pulled up the article so you can see, but this is the Houston paper, and they have, well, it starts off, it says, "You probably not be surprised to learn that a vast majority of people in the Texas Department of Public Safety sex offender list are male, and most are not good looking. But there are females on there too. Most of them are not good looking, true. But who really, takes their good mug shot?" Then he goes in, he said, we combed through 15 of the biggest counties in Texas and came up with the 10 hottest women in the database. Warning, in some cases, we picked out the best of the series of mugshots. Alternate choices were a starkling difference, so, whatever. And then, yes, we understand that everybody has a difference of beauty. But
3D Movie Man says apparently Craigslist is dried up.
Good, that's good. So you have, starting off here, scrolling down. I'll put this on the rebroadcast notes so if anybody wants to check this out. You have people like Karen Brown from Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh my
God. There's sexual assault. The victim was a female 13-year-old. There's 3 pages of all these women, what they did, and it's insane.
Oh Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I'm looking through it right now to see if I actually know any.
Yeah, I know, right? Do you know any of these people?
Because there's a lot from Fort Worth, Texas. But yeah.
That's terrible. That is like fucked up on many levels.
But only in Texas. Only in Texas. You would not get this anywhere else. Let me see.
And what news outlet put this out?
This is the Houston Press.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's what they do.
So that girl's really attractive, huh?
Which one?
The one in the next picture, right?
Yeah, she. Let me just pull it up. Is Barbara? Her name is Barbara, and her crime was sexual assault.
Oh, even the one under here, she's better looking still.
Well, the first one, her crime was sexual assault of a female 12-year-old. The one that you said is even better looking is also sexual assault of a 16-year-old male.
I feel bad laughing about this.
So this goes back to the John Wayne Gacy and the Unabomber.
Oh God,
thing
bless your heart.
Bless your little heart. But yeah. And what's really good is on the same page of the 10 hottest women on Texas sex offender list is Juggalo mugshots.
John, that's awesome.
This is from the Houston paper. This is But anyway, I'm not going to
Oh my God. Don't get me started on the juggalos.
No, please do.
There's guys. They're I don't know, man. I just think it's so funny that like ICP, Insane Clown Posse, like for years and years they built this fan base up, and it was all about, I don't know, their thuggish rap music and this identity that they created, and then all of a sudden they're like, haha, surprise, we're evangelical Christians. We fooled you all.
Suckers.
Magnets? How the fuck do they work?
Speaking of magnets, if there was an article from a celebrity that you could collect, I would be a spoon from Magnet Boy.
Oh my God. So I want to say that of the week's topics of stupid shit to talk about, this is the piece de resistance. This is the highlight of my week.
Let's throw it up there. This is from him. This is Magnet Boy. We'll talk about it after you listen to the news clip. Oh, of course it's not.
Of course.
Of course. The video did not want to load. Come on, you can do it. Anyway, while we wait for that.
God.
We can talk about it. At first, I thought it was just one boy. I thought, seriously, it was one boy that had this wonderful gift.
Apparently, it's any boy with no hair on his chest.
There's a lot of boys. And what this is they claim that these kids are the new Magneto, I guess. And anything metal will stick to them. And I love the video from it because if we can get it
if we had the video, you would watch it and laugh with us.
Laugh your asshole. Because it's so funny. I love the one on the Fox News video clip because they're like, yeah, anything can stick to this boy. And his dad's across the yard throwing coins at it, getting him to stick. And, oh, here we go.
Oh, we're going to have a video.
Yeah,
all right, sweet.
This is not the one I don't think that has the dad throwing the coin, but you get
Is
the,
this a
you'll
little
get the idea.
kid from...
Here we go.
A boy in Serbia may possess more than just a great personality. He may, in fact, be magnetic, in the literal sense. 7-year-old Bogdan's family claims the youngster's body is magnetic, and everything from silverware to remote controls seem to stick to him. They say that when the child takes off his shirt, items around the house clamp onto his chest and will stay there until Bogdan removes them himself. But it seems this sticky situation is not limited to just metal. His father claims that plates appear to be drawn to him as well. The family says little Bogdan has been this way since he was born, and he can't go near items such as a computer or they will simply stop working. For MSNBC.com, I'm Al Starrett.
You know what I have to say about the reporter? What was his name? Al Starrett.
Yeah.
God bless his heart. bless his heart.
Croatian boy claimed that he possesses a rather unusual talent. The couple says that metal is attracted to their son Ivan's chest. Family members claim Ivan's powers are strongest in the morning and are better when he's calm. Ivan's parents also claim that he can hold up to 55 pounds of metal on his chest at one time. His mother goes on to report that within the past few months, her son witnessed another boy on TV that reportedly could attract metal, with Ivan simply replying, quote, "I can do that," end quote. For MSNBC.com, I'm Al Starrett.
It's awesome. It's...
What the fuck?
I don't know. Fox News did a clip for me. Let's see if I can pull it up. That blows these two reports away because they're like,
I have never seen a more pathetic example of credulous reporting in the news on MSNBC
and CNN. The other one was CNN.
Jesus Christ!
It was on MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News. They all reported on it.
Oh my God! It was 3 different little kids. Why are they all little fat, pudgy white boys?
But they're not from America.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think that's funny. The stories are really funny because it's.
I like when they say like he's magnetic, but it works with porcelain plates.
Yeah. Fox News one says that the article in itself, if you read the article, which I'll put in the show notes, is not that he can do it, but he also possessed magical healing abilities.
Of course. You got to make a buck off of it somehow.
Well, I mean, you can make an easy buck on him. Is like doing what his dad's doing. Is like set up a ring, throw a coin through a hoop and stick to my son. I don't know, but
oh my gosh,
it's awesome.
You know what kills me about this is like, it turns out like magnetism is something that we can easily measure, but where is the guy in the white lab coat with a Gauss meter measuring the magnetic field? Like, you can do that. We have the technology to measure a magnetic field.
No,
that guy was left out of the broadcast.
No.
They never let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Never. But science has no business here.
Right. No.
This is not science. This
is a credulous fluff piece. Which probably would not get any traction if it weren't for the fact that there's an X-Men movie coming out with a dude named Magneto.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. It's fun, but give MSNBC credit though. They do go into the detail.
Actually, their thing was had a fairly skeptical slant. The text had a fairly skeptical slant, whereas that guy's video was. I can just see the guy recording the audio, like, really? Oh my God!
I have to say this. Oh my!
I need a raise.
Yeah, I need one quick because this is not going to get anything. So I'm pulling up the Fox News one now, and it starts at 56. Everything's running slow, but yeah, around the world, the magnetic boy. I love how it's. If you look on their page, it sets up next to. Inside the Bin Laden's family, right next to it is Magnetic Boy.
Oh my gosh, this is the worst case of credulous news reporting I have ever seen.
Really, the worst?
No, it's not the worst. I like to use superlatives.
Okay, well, this is not gonna work. So
you're the best. This is the best show ever.
This is the...
You're the best radio host I've ever seen.
Okay, now this hurts.
But I'm sincere though.
Yeah, because this show is obviously the cream of the crop. I think I got shit sticking to me. I'm gonna be Magneto.
Have you ever hung a spoon on your nose?
I've done that. I've done that, and for the longest time, I magically produced money when I would wake up.
Really?
Because I would go to sleep with my pants on, and then when I would wake up, coins would be stuck to my back.
See.
I became a rich man.
Why didn't you keep doing it?
I don't know. It didn't seem right. There's too many starving children in the world.
Yeah. All right. You're ethically.
Well, no, that would not be ethical. Because if I was producing,
I am not ethically constrained.
Because if I was producing money magically like that, and the reason I decided to stop it because there's too many starving people in the world, don't you think I would use that money to feed the starving people?
There you go.
But no. Anyway, moving on. The Terminator. You know, with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh man, I want to talk about Magneto.
Okay, we can talk about the ICP and how they
magnets. How the fuck do they work? Oh my god, it's the worst, dude. I agree with Miley. It's the end times,
which happens.
Right, we have
7 days. 7 days
until the end of the world. I can't wait.
I don't know what I'm going to do. What am I going to wear?
Dude, can I be Magnetic Man? I'm gonna shave my chest.
We should totally dress up as superheroes. We will save the world from the virus.
All right, on Saturday I'll be Magnetic Man, and my superpower is spoons stick to my chest. What, you know?
On your nipples.
Yeah, like one of the guys I really like a lot is James Randi, and he always talks about Uri Geller. And, Uri Geller claims to have superpowers. He can bend spoons with his mind, right? And he's always like, if you have superpowers and bending spoons is your superpower, what a dumbass superpower.
God is laughing at you.
I'm Magnetic Man. My power is spoons stick to my chest. From a distance of 2 feet, you can throw a quarter at me and it will stick. And I use this ability to fight crime.
Yeah. I mean, and because all of our coins are made of metal. And
yeah. And with only 4 or 5 tries, you can get a porcelain dish to stick to my chest.
I think what we need to do is just set up a video where we do an infomercial of just...
Oh, my God. Unfortunately, I could never really be Magnetic Man now because I'm kind of like, I'm part Wookiee. And... And it won't work. You can't have all of this.
Well, according to MSNBC, you can't.
No, they say it's because he's got a hairless chest.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like according to MSNBC, you couldn't do it because there's no hair, there's no friction, so there's.
I know that's how it works.
No, I'm saying that according to that, but
if I shaved my chest though,
but everybody else.
I can do like a bullseye on my chest, you know?
And then you could do a reverse bullseye. You could if you make it here, you win. We could do it. I don't know.
Yeah,
we become
throw quarters at me, and whatever sticks, I get to keep. Oh my god! I thought that when is it when you're an 8-year-old and you go, "Hey, Daddy, spoons stick to my chest." When does that become national news?
No, when does it become, oh, that's great, son. Wait a minute.
You're magic.
I got to make money off of this. Let's see if we can fool Grandma.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. Let's fool the neighbors. All right. Let's go on a world tour. No, let's just invite the media out.
That, if that wasn't like a legitimate news source, I would almost guess that was a story out of the Onion.
World Weekly News.
Yeah. Or like, hey, look, dude, got your nose.
Did you see that video? Did I send you the video?
No.
Oh my! I have to find it. I can't. I'm not going to do it on the show, but I find it. It's a home video made in Japan, and it's a guy with this little kid. The kid's probably 4 or 5, and he does the "got your nose" thing. The kid freaks the fuck out, starts screaming, and he goes up and puts the nose back on. The kid stops, and he's like, And then he does it again, and the kid freaks. He's like touching his face. He's like freaking, screaming, crying. It's awesome.
That's almost as good a trick.
It's amazing. It becomes it's so painful to watch that kid scream. You kind of feel sorry. You kind of feel guilty for watching. And you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be.
Oh man, you know what? Bless his heart.
Yeah. Bless his heart. Damn. But speaking of blessing people's heart, I want to go talk about the Terminator, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that we all grew up and loved. Megan Ellison has won the auction. He was fighting Lionsgate for it. And he won the auction for the rights to make at least 2 more installments of the Terminator franchise.
Who is that?
I don't know.
I mean, is this somebody that I should be like, yay, they have it? Or is
Well,
this somebody where I'm like, oh God, no?
I don't know. But the thing that you could say I don't know about is Justin Lin is attached to direct the film. He did the Fast Five.
Yeah, he did. That's right.
He
polished a turd. Man.
Yeah, he
Come
did.
on.
And apparently they're trying to rebirth the franchise by having him direct this. And Arnold is attached to reprise his role.
Did you see Terminator Salvation?
Yeah, I saw it at the theater.
Yeah. Did you like it?
No.
No, me neither. You know why?
Even with the CGI, I thought it was dumb.
Yeah. The CGI Arnold, that was kind of interesting because he looked exactly. I mean, I thought that was a pretty good job.
No, I'm not talking about the effects. I'm just talking about the storyline in general.
I thought it was kind of neat that you got to see the birth of the what was he, the T-800 or something. Yeah. I mean, that's cool, and he looked exactly like he did in the movie. But here's the thing that pissed me off about Terminator Salvation is you had been given all of these promises about John Connor. Right, you had been told, like, John Connor leads the resistance. He told us how to fight against the machines. You know, John Connor, he did all this and he did all that. Turns out, John Connor was a douchebag foot soldier in an inept army full of, crap leaders hiding in a submarine under the water. I mean, I don't know. It seemed very retcon to me, and I would have appreciated a better John Connor story, Like, I don't know, this history that you had been told about John Connor, he, like, drags humanity, by his bootstraps from the brink. I mean, that's what she says, right? Yeah. He brought us back from the brink. And,
it wasn't represented well.
No, John Connor was kind of a shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did like that you saw like the early versions of the Terminator that were not as sophisticated, and but then like why do they get Rachel Weisz as the sort of the voice of, I guess she was Skynet or something?
Yeah. I don't know. It was one of those mind-numbing just zombie popcorn films.
You'd have loved it if it was in 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have changed the game because...
I respect your unabashed adoration of 3D. I mean, at least you...
Well, 3D movie, man, I think we both agree on that. We grew up loving 3D movies. I mean, I know I did. I know 3D movies. And we've sat through some of the worst 3D movies ever. But this is back when Anaglyph was the norm. And... there are some really fucking bad 3D movies out there. I mean, like, way bad.
What was that one that brought it back? That brought back the 3D, the what you said, the Anaglyph technology. It was like some stupid comedy. It was called like 3D the movie or something, wasn't it?
No, Coming at You is the one.
Coming at You, that's what it was.
Yeah, we interviewed Tony Anthony, the main actor and the creator of it all. But yeah, no, it's an awesome. That's an awesome film.
Says amen.
And so I think we have a deeper love and understanding to the 3D movies now, and why we both totally hate 2D 3D conversion.
Because it looks like crap.
It does. It does not do anything for the film. I'd have to admit they did improve it a bit with Priest, but still, if it was done in native, that film would have been so much better visually.
Well, I'm. It's sad to say, but I think that at this point, the MO is going to be films that are done in 2D, and then an accountant comes along and says, well, this is what we project we're going to do for this movie, and if we spend X number of dollars doing a 2D to 3D conversion, considering that we can charge more for the 3D movie, our return on investment will be 15%. Whatever. Some guy's crunching the numbers, and he's deciding that it's advantageous to do the 2D to 3D conversion. It doesn't matter if it's going to look good. It doesn't matter if it's crap. It's all about the money.
Yeah, no, that's the truth. And the only films that it seems as it's laying out now that we're actually going to get native 3D outside of a couple of upcoming films are going to be epic films like The Hobbit, that we're going to get higher frame rates and awesome James Cameron 3D. And we're only going to get a small number of 3D, and it's putting a bad taste in people's mouth. I mean, they did this in the 80s when 3D were trying to make a comeback. They just started pumping out crap. I mean, I love them. I'll watch any of them any day, but the mass majority of people don't. It's if you're not into a movie, if you're not into the technology, you don't care about it. You don't care about it as much, and you go into it just seeing like if I went to go see, a chick flick or something, I'm not going to go in there expecting something awesome.
Yeah, well, all right. So 3D movie makes a point. He says, but there have been several that have tanked. And I think he's talking about the movies that have been the 2D to 3D conversion. And right. And
no,
like I
think he's talking about the. Well, I don't know. I don't know what he's meaning.
I think he means the where I said it was like an accountant that says if you spend the money on the conversion, you'll see a return on investment, and those movies may have tanked. And he's probably right. And the more times that bet doesn't pay off, the fewer 3D movies you're going to see.
Yeah, and that's going to be the death of it, and that's what happened in the 80s. It's not going to be that they're going to go, oh, you know what? People really do hate 2D, 3D conversion. We got to stop doing this and making real 3D. What it's going to be is people don't like this, so we're just going to stop altogether.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's not that people... There won't be any subtlety or nuance to it. It'll be 3D movies don't fare well commercially, so all 3D movies are bad and we won't do them anymore.
Yeah. And I don't want that to happen. I've waited too long to reach this point where I can get free passes to 3D movies, where I can walk in any day of the week to any movie theater and watch a 3D movie. You don't know how many times I've seen, because back before the 3D birth in 2003, back before the birth of the new coming of 3D, the only way I get to watch 3D in a theater is at a film festival. The last time I sat down in a 3D movie with anaglyph 3D glasses was when I was in Canada in 2001, and they were doing a 3-day weekend of nothing but 3D movies, doing Friday 13 Part 3, doing all types of 3D movies, and I bought tickets to almost every single one of them and sat there and watched them.
You know what my first 3D movie was? And I don't know if it's going to date myself or whether you're going to, I don't know, punch me in the face.
Probably
my first 3D movie with with the polarized lenses, because I've never ever seen a 3D movie with the red and green in the theater. Yeah. But the first 3D movie I ever saw with the polarized lenses was Captain EO.
I saw Captain EO.
And it was magical.
It was awesome. That was because it was good 3D. Michael Jackson totally backed 3D. That's what they were going to release scenes in his movie.
I
that
felt
came
like
out.
I could reach out and touch those things
awesome.
that were on the screen.
Yeah, they were in your face. It was perfectly done 3D. It was done right. And that's what these movies could do. That's what all of these movies that are coming out now could do, but they're not doing it. And that's why, okay, Monday we're going to go see another Walt Disney film, Pirates of the Caribbean. And if, I don't know why Walt Disney, I don't know why Sony, both, I mean, because Walt Disney, well, you know, I don't know why, because Walt Disney does the real 3D. They own the rights to that.
Yeah.
So you don't think, I don't know why they're not investing in doing real 3D. And Sony is totally pushing the 3D movie industry. They are the one major company that's doing...
Well, they have the 3D TV at home, right? The Sony is the ones that make the home 3D television.
Well, they all make them.
They do the active shutter, right?
Yeah, they do the active shutter, and which is the highest quality 3D that you can get for home viewing.
Really? I've never seen an active shutter
Yeah,
movie.
you have.
Well, I've seen yours at home.
That's the same.
But
it's just a different.
I've never seen it like in a big screen with the active shutter.
Well, all the IMAXs back before they started using the passive glasses were active 3D. I'll show you a funny photo of after the show of me and an active shutter lens. IMAX 3D glasses. They were a mess. It was awesome, but yeah. Yeah, 3D Movie Man's right. He said that the 2D 3D conversion does not do the film justice, did not do 3D justice because it doesn't stimulate the proper parts of the brain.
Like crap.
Because it's only one image.
Yeah.
And they can, replicate this. But anyway. That's 3D. That's what we always talk about 3D.
Why do we always wind up on 3D?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But you saw the active. The system I let you borrow.
Yeah. No, it was pretty neat. And it looked cool at home. And I'm telling you, that was a ride at Busch Gardens.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
That was a ride.
Yeah.
And,
a lot of my 3D actives are rides.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But, I have a big screen TV, but I even tried to help it out, like turn the lights out and everything and watch it in a dark room. And it was pretty neat, but like I said, man, that was a ride. All it was.
But not all of it. No, the other film that I gave you, the SOS, was not a ride. It's actual documentary.
I just had
I gave you SOS in the castle.
I thought I just had the castle.
No, I gave you SOS.
That I didn't watch it.
You didn't. I know, obviously, because that's not a ride. That's an actual full-length documentary.
Yeah, maybe I missed that one.
Because I gave you that one because I said Christy would like this one because it's about animals and stuff.
She didn't get to see any of them.
See, 3D Movie Man, I reach out and try to convert, and the flock doesn't follow.
You're going to have to talk about yourself for a second.
Well, we only have a couple more minutes.
I know.
He's leaving me.
I got to go.
He's out of here.
I'll be right back.
He's out. But yeah, so as always, I think the industry, the studios need to stop doing the 2D conversion. Have you seen 3D Movement? Have you seen Thor yet? Because even Market Saw is saying, Jim Dory from Market Saw is saying that the 2D conversion on the 2D 3D conversion on Thor is the best out so far. That it's the 3D actually got rave reviews overseas. I didn't know if you saw any 3D trailers or anything like that for Thor. And I mean, I stay true. I don't think that 2D will ever be as good as 3D. There's no way unless it's animation, and then because you can draw and create the dual image. But I don't know. It's all they just need to do it. 3D needs to be native 3D needs to be the way, and I think The Hobbit when it comes out will totally be the answer, and people will freak out, and hopefully it will change the game a little bit.
Well, I think The Hobbit's going to come out. I'm back. I think The Hobbit's going to come out, and it will be shot in native 3D. And it will be at that high frame rate.
It is.
And it will set the standard. It'll raise the bar.
Definitely, because that's what Cameron's trying to do with it. And he wants to raise the bar so it can be prepped for when he comes out with Avatar 2 and 3. But anyway, we got a couple minutes left of the show. I want to talk about a couple things. Wonder Woman TV series. There's been talk about doing a remake of Wonder Woman.
They filmed a pilot.
Yeah, and it's already got canned.
I know, right? How good can it be? The pilot got canceled before
it
even
aired. they said that Wonder Woman television series has failed to find a network to pick up at NBC. With NBC declining to give the go-ahead, it is unlikely that the comic book film will see the light of day as a series. What is more likely, but not guaranteed, is that that the produced pilot could be released in another form, as one case with the unproductive Smallville, or the spinoff, or Aquaman, which was released on iTunes and then sold as a Best Buy exclusive. But who saw those?
I didn't see Aquaman. I remember when Aquaman was on the Smallville show, and I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool.
But there was this.
But I didn't see the Aquaman show. I don't know.
I mean, and that's the thing I'm saying. That is like, it was a spinoff and it was released on iTunes and then a Best Buy exclusive. But that's pretty much dead. Who saw it? I don't ever think I read one thing about it.
And I was sort of obsessed with Smallville for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I liked it. It was a good show. So here's the thing with Wonder Woman. I think that David Kelly helming Wonder Woman, I think that property was in the wrong hands.
You think so?
Yeah, because David Kelly, he's a talented guy, and he has produced a lot of really good shows. But he does. I don't think he's suited for the superhero genre.
I don't know.
Like I think he did what? Gilmore Girls? That was a David Kelly show.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
so
wait, look what happened to the costume when they first released the very first photo of Wonder Woman in her costume. Fans freaked the fuck out, and then they went back. They went back and changed the costume because it was wrong right off the bat.
Yeah.
But, I don't know what they're trying to do with it. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I bet somebody will pick it up. If it wasn't what network did they say passed on it? It was like NBC or something.
Yeah, they said NBC is the most recent one that passed on it.
I bet it gets picked up by like the CW or something like that. CW's God, the Sci-Fi Channel. They'll air anything. You want to talk about like a show that has like a low threshold of quality? The Sci-Fi Channel will air anything.
But I don't think they'll do this.
Why not?
I don't know.
Somebody already made it. It's out there. All you got to do is pay some money and promote it.
But that's the thing. If it's failed so badly, just in image for the fans, if the fans are already upset just by the production photos that have been released.
Come on, let's face it, though, man. Fanboys can be sticklers for little inconsequential details. I'm myself included.
But you can say that, but studios listen to them.
Yeah, but why do they listen when the outrage is over minor costume issues and then like the fanboys point out like glaring continuity flaws or plot holes,
and they're just like whatever.
And they just say whatever. Right? I mean, I don't know. It's not very fair.
No, I mean if we understood how Hollywood works and why they made the choices they do, then we would probably be in the business and doing our own independent shit.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, the Smurfs in 3D is coming out. That's right, 3D movie.
Oh god.
You're not gonna go see it?
That is a sign of the apocalypse.
No, we're gonna go see it.
You know what? If the rapture happens on May 21st, it will only be to spare us from the Smurfs movie.
No way. I'm gonna go. 3 Movement says I predict the Smurfs in 3D will tank. No, I think it's gonna do well. I'm gonna go see it.
3D Movie Man mentions a Wonder Woman movie. Apparently, J.J. Abrams had flirted with a Wonder Woman movie, but it never got off the ground.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think as an icon for the mainstream, people only relate to the TV series that we grew up watching. I don't think there's that much appeal outside of that for people to be that interested in Wonder Woman. And that's why it's not.
Show?
Huh?
Did you like the TV show?
Yeah, I watched the TV show.
Holy shit, I was like a prepubescent kid. I loved the TV show.
Yeah. But I think that's one of the major problems right now is because, with Spider-Man, with X-Men or whatever, people have a little bit more. It's not like they have more connection to them than their Wonder Woman because they've been at almost every pinpoint of their life as they're growing up.
Yeah, I mean,
but Wonder Woman has not. Wonder Woman was on.
Well, there was a time when Wonder Woman was one of the hit shows on network television.
Yeah, but that was
huge.
but that was so long ago. And then the next time that you remember Wonder Woman is the invisible plane on Super Friends.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no other significant moment that you can think of that would keep her as a pop icon to be as popular for a TV show or a movie now.
Maybe not with the general public, but
that's what I'm saying.
Among like comic book fans.
Well, comic book fans are out of I'm talking about for the mainstream public.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't think this is taken off as well as it should.
Maybe. Yeah, that's probably part of it. I mean, and that's a shame too, because Wonder Woman is such a great character, and I think there's a lot of really great stories to tell. And in fact, I forget the guy that sort of created Wonder Woman. He did it to have a positive role model for girls. Yeah. I mean, it was a character that was engineered by a psychologist to reach out and be a positive influence on young girls who he felt didn't have positive role models, and he's probably right about it. Yeah. And I don't know. I think it's a character that needs to be out there.
Yeah. Oh well, it is past time now. It is now 9:00.
Oh no.
I think we're going to wrap this show up.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us on The Talking Dead this evening. And thanks for bearing with us on some of the tech issues. Hopefully when we get out of beta with this thing, we won't have any more. But
Jason's going to kick the command center.
No, the command center.
I would never kick
the command center is not the problem. It is not the problem. But anyway, so if I don't know even know why I said if on Thursday night. On Thursday night at 8 p.m. is another podcast of This Non-Religious Life. And I recommend to everyone to take a moment and check it out. It's a very fascinating show. No, I'm not just saying that because I help produce the show. And I sit in the background and say my nonsense. But it's really good. It's actually so good that it's inspired other people to comment on it. And
we've had feedback.
Negative
and positive.
Yes. So there's great things to come. So it's every Thursday night at 8 p.m. It's called This Non-Religious Life. It can be found only on the Zombie Popcorn Network. And
it's part of the Zombie Popcorn Media Empire.
Dun, dun, dun. So I highly recommend everybody listen to that. I want to thank you for listening to The Talking Dead, which is this show. And we will talk to you next time. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for the show, please email them to us. You can find the contact page on the site.
And you know what? We got to have a build-up for next week, too, man.
For not this show. There's no build-up.
For this show? Come on, next week it's the 21st.
Oh, you're talking about that show. I thought you were just talking about
the 21st.
The build-up.
Whether we're interviewing Brother Mike, whatever's going on,
right.
We're going to be having, I
don't
know,
right.
some kind of
like a party.
I don't know. We're going to be on the porch. We're going to be waiting to be either cast into hell or taken in. Can you imagine, like, let's just say it does happen, and like I get cast into hell and you get raptured into heaven. I'd be pissed off.
No, because then we can broadcast it to. I'll Skype you in, and we can.
Yeah.
We can.
I'll be like, he was on that show with me.
He's like, look at that. But no. So yeah, what he's talking about is if you caught a couple episodes ago on The Talking Dead, we interviewed Brother Mike, which runs the website May21st-2011.org, which they are one of the peeps that spearhead the campaign that the rapture is happening on Saturday, May 21st, 2011.
About 5 o'clock.
About 5 o'clock. And so what we're going to do is we're going to reach out again to Brother Mike.
We're going to call him.
And see if he's been raptured. And
I'll
to
be
see what's
amazed
up.
if he picks up the phone.
Yeah,
I'll be amazed.
Probably won't happen. But that's... So next Saturday will be the Armageddon show. So tune in for that. I want to thank you again for listening, and we will talk to you later. Have a good night. You want to tell them bye?
Oh, bye. Sorry. I was thinking about like...
You're thinking Brother Mike.
I was thinking about the 21st and how like Captain America comes out on the 22nd of July, and I'll be pissed if I miss it.
All right. Good night.